LA County manages a multi-billion-dollar budget. That might make it seem like the county has deep enough pockets to easily pay for every program and service imaginable. But look closer, and you'll see that most county funding comes with strings attached. In other words, to receive the funding, we must provide certain important services to our residents. The biggest chunk of LA County's funding comes from the federal and state governments. Most of these funds are designated to help us provide required health and social services programs, paying for things like public hospitals, child welfare, and assistance to low-income families and individuals. And nearly all of this money comes with restrictions. It cannot be used for any other purpose. For example, the county can't take Medicare dollars and use that money to fix potholes, no matter how critical the need. Another sizable portion of the budget is tied to the fees the county charges to cover the cost of providing specific services, like animal care and control, fire protection services, and sheriff's patrol services. Most of the balance of the county's funding comes from locally generated revenue, like property and sales taxes. This funding has fewer restrictions, but there can still be strings attached. These can include state and federal requirements that the county pay out of its own pocket to maintain certain levels of services. The spending associated with locally generated revenue is often described as net county cost, or NCC. NCC means the funding we must spend on programs and services that have no other revenue sources available to support them. The county also must draw on local funding to meet its contractual obligations, including operating agreements, building leases, and legal settlements. After all its obligations are met, the county has a pool of funding left that is truly unrestricted. In recent years, that pool of money has totaled a small fraction of the overall budget. Here's where things can get complicated. As the governing body for Los Angeles County, the Board of Supervisors must decide which programs to fund with these unrestricted dollars. Because there are always many more deserving programs than funds available, tough decisions and trade-offs are usually required. Launching a new program can mean moving money away from an existing program or having to search for new revenue sources. Since the board has no authority to impose taxes and Proposition 13 limits property tax increases, voters may sometimes be asked to approve special measures dedicated to funding specific efforts, like supporting parks or fighting homelessness. If approved, these dedicated funding streams become part of the county budget, with their own restrictions on how they're used. To help make tough budget decisions, the board receives recommendations from the chief executive officer and also hears testimony from the public to learn about residents' priorities. And that's a quick look at where county funding comes from and how it all comes together to serve our residents and move LA County forward. For more information on the county budget, go to ceo.lacounty.gov/budget.